Welcome back to our community. Susie Thomas here with Bill Graining from the Alive Festival. You mentioned weather. What a leap of faith for a young couple with a family to, as you say, leave your very stable day job of banking to make your living on relying on.
Did you say young couple?
4 days.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, back in back in the day, and you still are.
Yeah, Kathy's still young.
And on 4 days of basically the weather, your livelihood was. Did you ever sit back and think about that? That is depending on whether people are going to come out for 4 days, and then that is your livelihood.
You think about it because you can't help but realize that does affect your event. But a lot of people pre-purchase wristbands and tickets, and they plan to be there. So we kind of know there's a core. In the early years, because I did have a job, and a regular job that I was working, I didn't have the fear because I always felt that we were taking baby steps. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a good analogy for anybody starting even a business is
nice.
You don't start and say, we're just going to jump from A to Z. You start and learn as you go, and then as you tweak things. Somebody asked me once, how is it that you've been able to have an event go 29 years?
Yeah.
We're coming on 29 years. And I told him, I said, you just write down what didn't work and don't do it again. Don't repeat the error.
And after 29 years of that, you get it figured out, don't you?
You do. And there's things I've tried. I remember being here at the radio station talking with Gary and talking with Tom Bishop and you and thinking about things we could add and different programming. And we did launch an amazing children's program, which we still have. This year we're having free inflatables and a petting zoo.
Oh, how nice.
The bottom line is these are things that are ideas, and you try them. But when you run an event, the weather is the thing that Kathy always says this. It's something we can't control.
Right.
So we plan for either type. There's been years at Alive where we've actually had to have water trucks drop water on the roads to keep them from being dusty. Back, I remember at Clay's Park when it just got so dry.
Yes.
And we were thinking that's not a problem you usually encounter. But then you have years where it rains. But we've had the first 7 years we were at Clay's Park, it never rained on a concert. And Mr. Clay Sr., who passed away and was just a wonderful man and would talk to me after we'd get done with an event. And he said, you guys must really be praying because you're getting no rain on your event. But the truth was it would rain at night, but never during one of our concerts. Mm-hmm. But then we went through years where it rained for 2 straight years. Not 2 straight years. Not like Noah's Ark, but basically it rained off and on, and you'd think, oh, this is a wet year. But then we have years where it's so beautiful. So it's just one of the uncontrollables. You do plan for that. Yes, we do a lot of our sales closer to the event. But we do ask people in the community, if you want Alive to keep going and be here, just support it. That's it. Bring your family for the day if you can't come all week. There's nothing like it. I guarantee not only, if we get into the food side, the food vending, having a place to sit with the family and just eat ice cream and, all the different amazing foods that come out. I won't even get into that. I get hungry. Getting close to one. But the point is, I think what happens is people have to go, and once they get hooked.
Yes.
And we've got groups. I just met with Jim Davis from Willoughby Hills Friends. He brings about 50 to 60 young people every year. They bring a bus down. They set their camp. I think they bring people to cook food and adults, and they got youth and all ages. And
wow.
I see a group coming every year from Cincinnati. They bring about 40. We've got groups from Pittsburgh and Indianapolis and Grand Rapids, Michigan, and they all come, but it's like a family reunion because now there's people that have been seeing each other and they've watched their kids grow. We've had people meet their spouse, their future spouse there. A lot. We didn't start it to be a matchmaking service, but it's kind of worked out.
Sometimes that works.
But God has used it in a big way, and we've seen about 18,000 people come into our prayer tent just to say, I want to make a decision to follow Christ, or I want something to change in my life. I can't even put
That's
words.
The bottom line,
we don't
isn't
even
it?
know what that. We don't know what that's God's kingdom work stuff, not stuff we are really planning out. We plan it, but we don't know what's going to happen. The Holy Spirit does that stuff. But it's amazing to me that we should be a little more nervous, I think, and scared, but we aren't, because you're not going to, whatever we do is not going to matter. At the end of the day, We enter this earth with nothing. We leave with so it's our relationship with each other and God. And so
and
the bottom line, that's all it is.
Honestly, where I was going with that, because it is, if you wanted to get scared in our humanness, we could. But this is God's event, as you say.
Right.
And as you also said, some of the most fun stories these are young people. You hear about football players talking about my favorite game we played in the rain or the snow or something. Same with the kids who attend Alive. Some of their favorite, most memorable times would have been like, they were doing a mudslide.
The mudslides always happen.
Exactly.
And I used to think, the kids are going to get hurt. And then several years, even at Clay's and at Atwood, people have said, if they're in a grassy field and they're having fun, let them go. We've had a lot of great stories. We've seen some really funny things. But to experience life together, there's something about community and experiencing 4 days. I was a Boy Scout, so I remember growing up with my scout troop in the old days. I won't give you a year. But you would go to camp, and I still am friends with some of these guys that I was in Boy Scouts with, because we experienced campouts together, survival type campouts. So now you go to Alive, and I think we have a lot of the niceties, really nice facilities, and we have paved roads and walkways. We're really, if people are nervous, Atwood and Clay's Park both have nice facilities, so we're not in the wilderness, really.
And as you are speaking, I think of the million logistics, one of those being the rubberized walks that they put down just in case there's rain. Those are amazing. You have to think of everything, don't you?
Well, that was a big kudos to Aaron Stump, who's the park manager at Atwood Lake Park. I told Aaron, I said, Aaron, we have a forecast. It could be wet. That was last year. And it did rain, so they basically brought in they're basically used traction mats is what they are. But people noticed when they pulled in that they got out of their car, we had traction mats through the parking lots, because inevitably, when the kind of rain that hit last year came, we still had crowds. It was crazy. People kept coming. I really was appreciative of all the people that came in, umbrellas, and just said, hey, we're here. And we don't stop the show unless there's lightning. We did stop last year to take a delay and then bring the artist back out.
Yeah.
But that's what happened. So the truth is the park addressed that. We're continuing to address those things so that if there is rain, we're ready. A lot has been done. I won't go through all this stuff, but there's a lot of things that we're doing just to make the customer experience better. And when they come into the park, they're going to see those things more and more, because really, people want to come to a place that's prepared for that. So
you're not really roughing it anymore. It really is wonderful. You alluded to this, but let's talk about the impact. For one thing, the economic impact, I would think, for Carroll County, Tuscarawas County, has got to be amazing. Yeah. You're bringing that many people in from all around the world, truly. And then, as you said, the spiritual impact. It's almost uncalculable, isn't it?
That's a good word. Yeah, it's hard to measure stuff that we can't see it. So we can't calculate every little, spiritual impact. But we do know that, the financial side, to me, I'm sure it broadens itself into Stark and Summit. People stay in hotels up here. They commute down. They get food. They stop for dinner. They get gas. There's no doubt there's money flowing through that because of Alive, it's a good thing. We'd love it to be more. We'd love to be another 10, 20,000 people. But we know that there's impact. We know for that region of the state, there's a chance for a little surge down there. And so people that aren't familiar, if you get off 77 south of Canton, just get off in beautiful Zoar down that way, take 212, about 15-minute drive right out to Atwood Lake Park. Easy to get to. It's a very nice little ride. And if people that are familiar, obviously, with Amish country, that's the flavor. You're not really going to hit a lot of buggies that direction, but you will have a nice ride out that way. This year we did change some things. We're going to be starting the main stage a little earlier, so people that do commute from Cleveland and Youngstown and Pittsburgh and Columbus, which a lot do, they're going to be done at main stage about 10:15, which means they'll be able to get on the road if they're just there for the day. The ones that are camping, they don't care. They stay up at night. We have late night cafe. We have acoustic music, comedy clubs, dance parties, all kinds of stuff going on. But the truth is, those that are commuting now can get out and be on the road a little earlier, and that also allows us, because it gets darker sooner in July,
yes,
being July 20 to 23, we have the availability now to really start things a little earlier and end them a little earlier.
Let's get to this year, and let's start with the date change. It's in July.
It's
for
in
people who've
July.
always planned it around Father's Day.
Yeah.
What do we do? Okay.
Well, the good news is for those that always had sports camps.
Yes.
You know, if your kid's in an AAU team or travel league, or if they're in a camp, it could be cheerleading, band camp, you name it. We were conflicting with a lot of things. We always are. I mean, we're busy people. Our world is full of opportunities to do things, but June is always busy. You got weddings. You seem to have a lot of weddings in June. We also noticed that a lot of the churches, that's when they do mission trips. So we started, and it wasn't really, this was not calculated. It was sort of an opportunity came where we went to Atwood and we all talked about it and thought this could work. So going to July gives us also another month for people to be in the summer. A lot of people would come to us and say, now, when's Alive again? And it was already over. They would say that to us, end of June and July 4th weekend. Hey, when's Alive? Well, we're in July now. So you have July, you've got June and July, and it's now summer. People always said, oh, you're trying to get to better weather. Yes, we are in it's historically better weather. That means nothing in Ohio, as you know.
Right.
We had snow a week ago, and now
That's right.
we're
And then
swimming in
80
our pool
degrees
yesterday.
the next day. Exactly.
Yeah, so who knows? So, it's just, you can't really temper
Yes.
things with weather. It just changes, so you don't know what to do. But we really feel like this will be a great time of year for Alive. It's early enough in the summer that we're able to, it's Wednesday, July 20th we start, and then we go all the way to the 23rd. Those that are camping can stay all the way till the 24th. But we do have also early camping on Tuesday for those that want to come in and make a little longer vacation. But probably one of our bigger lineups. We have some artists that we have had, and we also have some ones we've never had. So
This is great. Well, let's get right to that. Okay, July 20th through 23rd at Atwood Lake Park. Who's going to be there?
Well, this year, the big day, Saturday for us, I think is a great concluding day. We'll start kind of at the end of the festival. We have Switchfoot, who's celebrating their 20th anniversary as an artist, as a band. So Switchfoot's there, and Casting Crowns. We basically have two headliners. They've both agreed to play the same. They're both doing full 70-minute plus shows. We have that day. We also have Vertical Worship with James McDonald. Friday, we have Skillet. We have Sidewalk Prophets. We have the City Harmonic. We have a lot of different groups, a variety of stages. We also have, we have what's called the Beach Stage and the Wood Stage. So you can go to the website and actually go through a schedule and just look at the master schedule. Thursday, we've got for the first time Rend Collective out of Ireland, kind of an amazing high-energy worship artist. But that night we're designating Worship Night at Alive, and we also have All Sons and Daughters, Shane and Shane, Urban Rescue, and then Saints.
Wow.
And we really have built that night around a night to have corporate worship together. The other stages have a lot of artists too. NF, I know we have coming, another hip-hop guy that's rising up. Wednesday night, we have, for King and Country headlining,
awesome.
We have Andy Mineo, who's doing really well. He's kind of another one of those artists with Reach Records, a hip-hop rap artist that has a great message. So, again, being able to see artists like Casting Crowns, Switchfoot, Skillet. Skillet's going to be getting back from Europe, and we're fortunate. We're one of the festivals they were able to play. They're not doing a lot of them, so we're very fortunate.
Oh, it's going to be great. All right, because there's just too much to even begin to tell, give us the website.
Alive.org.
Pretty
Just
good.
that easy. Alive.org. Go there. You'll get everything you need. You can buy tickets there. You can order. You can put them on your smartphone. Come to the gate. Scan it. We give you your wristbands right there. No muss, no fuss. It's real simple.
Awesome. Bill Graining, thanks so much for joining us on Our Community.
Thank you, Susie.